Hello to all my live streaming friends out there. Wild coming at you, and normally I would be doing a big introduction and explaining everything Twitch tax related for everyone out there on the live streaming platform. But however, it looks like I'm not going to have time to really make that video because it looks like there's some big changes coming in 2019 that people will need to be aware of for taxes. And unfortunately, I haven't had enough time to research it. But what I can do is give you general information that's going to help a lot of you out there because a lot of you are still lost. But before we begin, I am putting in front of you that I am not a tax professional. I'm not a tax advisor. Everything I give you, take with a grain of salt because you will have to research your own tax needs. Everybody's gonna have different tax brackets based upon your age, your marital status, where you are in life, where you're located at, and what country you're in. So everybody's gonna have different tax brackets, and what may affect them may not affect another person. So make sure you seek a professional tax advisor if you have any particular questions on income that you earn from live streaming or content creation online. We got that all good and clear? Do not get me in trouble. I'm here to help. Most people don't know where to start when they're doing their taxes, and I recommend using a program like TurboTax. It's very easy and it walks you through the process of whenever you get any of your forms in from any employment that you have, and it walks you through the steps and it's very easy. If you don't feel comfortable doing your own taxes, there's a lot of other great programs and services out there like H&R Block that'll be more than willing to help you. So I recommend looking at one of those. One question I always get asked is what qualifies as an expense for live streaming or online content creation? And this is a very, very tough one to give advice on. So take it with a grain of salt. But generally, it is what's common for the industry and what is a necessity for that industry as well. Since live streaming and online content creation is generally new, nobody can really say what qualifies for those defining factors because it's always changing as it's going forward and evolving. So it's up to you to say what is a necessity and what's common within the industry. For example, you could take something like a camera producing the image quality that I have to talk to you all on this YouTube channel or on my streaming content. A camera can seem like a necessity, so it will probably or maybe qualify as an expense. But something like a video game that you only use a handful of times and may or may not use it to stream, most likely won't qualify. Now, if you think you have expenses that qualify for your online content creation or your streaming creation, what I highly recommend is make an Excel sheet. Do it on something like your Google Drive, and for every month of the year, add in all the things that were expenses to your stream and put down what the product is, where you got it from, the time that you bought it, the total price, including taxes, and make sure you spread that out and do a grand total. So that way you have something to go back to and you can add to the itemized expenses and deductions throughout the year when you come to those forms on your stream, and you can see if those will qualify rather than the one that's kind of given to you overall. And this is just a good tip to do in general because it'll show you how much you spend on your stream per month and year over year. And you might be surprised at how much money you spend on streaming. Now, when entering in your taxes, they make it pretty easy for you. If you made any income on different medias and platforms out there, most platforms will send you some kind of documentation that you have to enter into the corresponding boxes. But there are some exceptions to the rules out there. If you made money or were transferred any money through your PayPal account, PayPal does not have to send you any documentation unless I think it's you make over $10,000 within a given year and you had something more than 2,000 transactions. For most people out there, you're not going to qualify for that, which means you have to go through all of your PayPal transactions and add them up for the month and have a grand total and then add that year together, and you have to report that to the government. Now everybody's gonna say, I don't have to report because I made under a certain number. Hey, that may be true and that may not be true, but for most of you out there, you probably have other forms of income coming into, whether you have a job or you work other hustles out there that provide an income to you. Again, it's up to you to choose what you have to report, but for most of us out there, you probably have a full-time job, so this is additional income on top of that. Since we're talking about money coming in from elements like PayPal, that generally falls in the classification of what people like to call donations, tips, support, blah, blah, blah. Whatever it is, it's considered a transaction of money. Regardless of how charitable the person thinks they're giving to you for a cause, you are not a charity unless you're signed up to be a charity, which is a whole different tax bracket. But for everybody out there, whatever you call it, donations, tips, support, whatever, It is a transfer of money, which means it's an income source to you that needs to be reported. And for a tip here, you need to report the actual number that you received. So do not go through your services like Stream Elements or Streamlabs. If somebody sent you $5, you did not receive $5 because payment processors like PayPal take a deduction out of that. So you most likely got $4 in change. And those are the numbers you want to add up on your Excel spreadsheet and then report as income. Now, if you have things like sponsorships, affiliate sales, promotions, anything like that, those are also reportable and would need to go into the corresponding boxes because that is miscellaneous income coming in as well. So make sure you don't forget about those sources of revenue coming into you because that can be easily forgotten about. If you are making any kind of money on streaming platforms or other assets like affiliate sales or promotions or sponsorships, like we said, one of the biggest tips I can give to you out there is, depending on where you are, most likely taxes are not being withheld, which means that you have to report them come tax time. And depending what bracket you're in, that could be a hefty amount of money. Somewhere most likely for some of you out there, probably between 30 and 40% will have to be reported and claimed and sent to the government. So if you're making money off of programs like or platforms like Twitch, make sure you set a certain amount of money aside for the tax year. If you made $1,000, you're gonna have to most likely send in money to the government for $300. That would be 30%. And a lot of people forget about this. The moment they get money, they spend money. Taxes are tough and they can be confusing, and hopefully this demystifies a little bit, but I understand that I can't go too in depth on this because there's too many variables out there. But still, this general information will help you. If you have any more questions or you need advice, don't be afraid to seek a tax professional. Like I said, I am not a tax professional. I'm not a CPA. I don't play one on YouTube. I'm just here to give you general information that I use in my daily occurrences of making money online that can help you all out. So don't be afraid to seek professional advice out there. And like I said, I will eventually do a video of everything encompassing Twitch taxes. I just got to do a little bit more research to help all of you out there, but this will at least give you a head start so that way you can start making the necessary changes, or you know what you need to report for this year. So hopefully you guys found this very helpful and interesting. Sorry it's not my normal video, but I still wanted to help you out and pump something out to help you guys out. So I will see you guys all in the next video. Take care and peace.